Miss Games.
Hello.
What?
Hi.
What?
What?
What? What's wrong with you? You're new doing nothing but incoherent nonsense.
Oh boy.
We
Let's start this.
We got a new picture.
Yeah.
Got another new picture. Oh man.
I have a weird looking N64 controller in my hand.
Yeah, you gave that to me.
I know.
So, as anyone knows, last time we finished Act 2. Act 2 was really short. And now Tommy wants us to just jump right away, and we're going to do right into Act 3. Right, Tommy?
Yep.
All right, let's see where this
We
story...
didn't jump right away, though, because this guy had to go somewhere. Okay.
We traveled forward in time. And now we're back.
Hello.
To the future.
Okay.
Or the present.
Let's start!
Okay.
Please.
Here we go. Act 3. The tint of the room slow...
Let's just drop it.
You guys are like children. The tint of the... Okay. I got it. Oh, man.
Take your time.
The tint of the room slowly changes from the shine of the afternoon to the orange of dusk. The clock lazily ticks away the seconds, counting in the background on the verge of hearing. What? Okay. But no matter how long I wait, the outcome cannot be changed. The diminutive playing piece makes a small clink against the board. They're playing chess! Like a wound spring. What? What's a wound spring?
I don't know.
Like a wound spring, Hanako makes her move only moments after mine. It's embarrassing. In comparison to my 5-minute moves, she seems to know exactly what she wants to do. Mate. Wait. Mate. Again? What does that make this? 3 to 2? She beat us! Stalemates don't count. Damn, you're getting better at this every day.
He cursed.
He swore. Do you count damn as cursing?
To a degree.
It's like very light.
Yeah. Like hell.
That, or she's been holding back. I never had thought of it when I first met her, but she really has a knack for this game. Chess seems to become a popular pastime for the two of us. Hiding away in the tea room, playing a game or two after classes. From here, the students outside can just barely be heard mailing about. The everyday noises from below remind me a little of my life before Yamaku, though I'm by now well aware that it's a life I'll never get back to. Fancy another game? I have to finish my homework. Oh, no. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then. But what about this? Hanako points to the tea set surrounding the mostly empty chessboard. Don't worry about that. I got it. Okay. See you. Later. Hanako departs as I start cleaning up the air. Do I make Hisao sound like a dude, bro? I almost feel like I'm making him sound surfer-like.
Not really.
The occasional whistles and cheers from the sporting clubs outside become less frequent, eventually approaching silence. A part of me still wants to be in some kind of team.
Okay,
since I played soccer and other sports before my accident, it gets only normal to feel nostalgic about what I don't care about anymore.
Okay.
Gnarly!
Let's just
Yeah, that would ruin the mood, wouldn't it?
Oh, jeez, man.
Oh, man. I know what else could ruin the mood. Hello there, Hanako. He said. Oh, man.
Why don't you just shut up already?
Would you all just shut up already? I'm worried about you, Hisao.
Okay, stop.
You look a cow.
Stop! Please read.
But I have other reasons than that for coming here so often. So I don't feel bad about losing that part of myself because of them. Lily's a good friend by now, but it's the small exchanges I have with Hanako that feel especially dear. The small victories I feel every day as I see more of what she's like under her self-imposed shell. That's why I come here most of all. As I'm putting away cups and saucers, I hear talking outside the door. Pausing for a moment to listen, I can make out that it's Hanako and Lily, and decide to go outside to investigate. Are you quite sure? I'm sure. Hisao. Hanako turns to see me just with a look of mild surprise as she notices my approach. Lily must have caught her just as she was about to leave. Oh my, Hisao's here as well? Afternoon, Lily. What's up? I was hoping, now that I finished with my class representative duties for the day, that I might have the two of you accompany for tea at the Shanghai. It would be nice to enjoy ourselves outside of the school for a change. I'd be up for it. I think Hanako had work to do, though. It's not all that much. Wonderful. It seems we're decided then. Well, she just ditched homework. I cast my eyes across the cafe as the three of us step in. As usual, there's only a handful of people around at most, and the noise level is a quiet background hum. The hold Lily has on Hanako's arm remains just as it's been for the entire slow walk down the hill to the local town, though it's hard to say for which reason. For Lily's guidance, or for Hanako's reassurance. For a moment, Lily removes her arm from Hanako's to retract her cane as Yuko quickly skitters over to where we stand, but soon replaces it right back to where it had been. Oh, welcome to Shanghai! May I take your order? She didn't drop her glasses this time! She gives a deep bow, her well-delivered and professional introduction putting her in a good mood. It's a nice change from the norm for Yuko. Just tea, please. Hanako, Hisao? I'll have a slice of pie and a coffee. Just tea, please. Coming right up. Please take any seat you wish. I'll be back shortly. Hanako gives a smile and a nod before shuffling to the counter. We make our way to some empty seats by the window in quick measure. Whoa! Too close. We slip into our seats, the girls on one side with Lily's cane propped up beside them, and I on the other. I realize that Hanako's not doing something that she often does. Rather than keeping her eyes pinned to the ground and hiding behind her blind escort, busily trying to convince herself that the world around them doesn't exist. She's merely keeping her eyes low and helping Lily around. Are you okay, Lily? You look tired. She lowers her head a little, looking somewhat embarrassed that she'd let it show. Class representative work can be very tiring, considering that it often means dealing with the student council. Very tiring indeed. How do the other representatives go? Better than I, just not very much. Shizune is a harsh taskmaster, no matter whom she deals with. It doesn't sound like you particularly relish the job. Why do you do it in the first place if it's that bad?
I prefer ketchup.
I knew that was coming. Being a class representative is enjoyable, and I can deal with responsibility well enough. It's just that the people involved are sometimes... She trails off, cutting her words at a rather opportune spot. It's hard to imagine Lily cursing, but I imagine that if anyone could make her do so, it would be Shizune. Hanako looks to be withering a bit in the light of such conflict, but before I can steer the topic away a little, she stands up. Hanako? I'll be back in a bit. With that, she leaves for the restrooms. I suppose that's one way to deal with the situation. I suppose that's one way to deal with the situation, if that was indeed her motivation. Lily, however, looks a little wounded. Don't worry about it. I don't think it was you. But I think she's been getting stronger recently. You've seen it yourself, right? No, Isao! I don't think she's seen it herself! That went a bit awry. Fortunately, Lily doesn't look offended, and by now I really shouldn't be quite so quite so scared of stepping into that landmine around her. Possibly. Sometimes I find it hard to tell, though. Silence reigns for a moment before 2 teacups, a pie, and a mug of steaming coffee appear in front of us. I don't like coffee. Do you drink coffee?
Not rarely, but when I do, I drink it black.
Okay. I don't like coffee, like, at all. I drink hot cocoa.
Amen.
I noticed that Yuko takes special care to place the teacup against the tip of Lily's fingers, letting her know where it is. Here you go. Thanks, Yuko. Thank you. With a quick and silent bow, the bespectacled waitress takes her leave. Means she has glasses. At least I think so, because the word speckle was, like, in there. That's right. I was meaning to ask you something, and now would be the right time to do so. I'm all ears. Hanako's birthday's coming up, and I was hoping you might accompany me for present shopping in the city this weekend. Hanako's birthday soon? I suppose it'd be a nice chance to cheer up a bit. Like Yuko. She's always seemed to be teetering on the edge of either panic or depression. I've never seen her enjoy herself much outside her chess games. All that aside, learning the layout of the city better with a friend keeping me company sounds like a good way to spend a weekend. Sure, I'd be happy to. Have you got any plans for what to do for her birthday? A party or anything? Hanako being Hanako, perhaps a low-key affair would be... Lily suddenly cuts herself short, leaving me to wonder why as she brings her teacup to her lips and begins to sip. After a few seconds, I notice Hanako walking up to us over her shoulder. Lily's hearing must be very good indeed if it was the sound of the restroom door opening that tipped her off. Man, imagine if it was someone else! Hano takes her seat once again, and wastes no time drinking our tea. Soon the 3 of us are quietly eating and drinking as the sun sets. It's a nice way to spend the remainder of the day's light, and it makes me appreciate the quiet and serene surroundings of Yamaku. I think I'm really beginning to like life here, as isolated as it may be. Stinking city boy, shut your mouth! I finish off the last of my coffee and rest the mug on the table while the girls talk between themselves. The coffee here is a little bitter for my taste, but still quite good. Better than what I can make for myself in any case.
Hey, you want to taste bitter coffee? You should have percolator.
I don't want to taste any coffee. Tommy's wrapping himself in my winter blanket.
It's so snuggly.
Snuggly and bugly.
Bugly?
The girls' discussion is mainly focused on their respective...
You better not have bed bugs.
No, that's not what I meant. That was just a word
know.
I
was trying to make a joke.
The girls' discussion is mainly focused on their respective reading preferences, which this gives me a little curiosity about a related topic. Hey, Hanako, I was just wondering, aside from chess and reading, do you have any other hobbies or things you like doing? She's completely stopped in her tracks, looking quite surprised that anyone would be interested in asking such a question about her. Takes her a little time to formulate a response. I guess I like singing a little. I'm okay with computers as well, but I don't use them all that much. Singing's not exactly something I expected to hear. It's hard to imagine her singing voice, given how soft-spoken she is. I hope the microphone didn't pick that up. Lily, on the other hand, simply nods. She must already know all this, since she's been friends with Hanako for 1 year or so by now. What about you? Me? She hesitates before quickly flickering her head up and down. It's only logical that she'd want me to talk about my hobbies after she's told me hers. There's chess, obviously, but also there was soccer as well, though I can't really do that anymore. Reading, which I picked up in the hospital, this is surprisingly hard. Lily and Hanako look a little put off by the direction of this talking. of the direction this is taking. The more I think about it, the more I am too. It sounds as if you've picked up quite a few things since your accident. Lily's candor is coated with probably the most positive spin one could put on that what I said. Hanako, however, is silent. If a situation becomes difficult, her reactions always seems to be withdrawing into silence in order to prevent things from getting worse. That, or physically retreating. Ah, phone! A soft ringing gives us pause. As Lily reaches into her pocket, it becomes obvious that the sound is coming from her phone.
Wait, she has a phone?
She's got a phone! Sorry. It's okay. Lily gives a quick nod before shuffling out of her seat and taking the call a little distance away to avoid disturbing the both of us. Must be nice to be popular. Hanako smiles but doesn't take up the hook of further discussion. I end up just sitting back and closing my eyes, relaxing as best as I can. It's nice and peaceful here. I wonder what it'd be like to have grown up somewhere like this, rather than in the city. You come from the city? Looks like I found something she wants to talk about. Yeah, you could say I was a city kid through and through. Sounds like a lot's changed. It did. I'm still not quite sure what to make of it all, though. It's a bit of a culture shock in more ways than one. You must have gone through something like this when you first arrived at Yamako, right? I imagine new students would. Not really. Hanako gazes a little to the side, looking unwilling to go on. I tilt my head inquisitively, whatever that word is, but a couple of seconds pass with no further answer. But can't we deal with that on Monday? The fallout has already settled from the last. I understand. I'll try to talk her down. You know what she's like when she gets locked into an idea. Yes, thank you. I'll talk to you later then. Goodbye. Lily's conversation ends with a snap of her phone closing. She returns to her table, but doesn't take her seat. Hey, Tommy, they got flip phones. Everyone in this thing has flip phones. I think this game, takes place sometime in, 2000... I always like to think, my headcanon is this story takes place sometime in, 2004 or something, before iPhones were a thing.
Hey, bro.
Yeah?
My phone's a sliding phone.
Yeah? Tommy's got a sliding phone.
And you can hear it flip, so I guess it doesn't... I think it could be a sliding phone.
It is. That's a flip phone. If it flips in any way...
Oh.
But that counts as a flip phone.
I thought flip phone was it has to actually literally...
Oh, you mean the thing where you can go... Tommy, like this.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well...
Let's continue!
Okay.
Enjoy your phone! You dumb old phone!
Okay.
You disgusting phone!
Stop! Just go! Jeez. Lectures about my phone. I just discovered this thing could go on... This thing could go on Google and stuff.
Yep. Need to go? Unfortunately, class representative work calls once again. Can I come with you? It's alright, Hanako. I'll just be going straight to the student council. There's no need to spoil a fine evening on my account. Besides, if you were to accompany me on my way back to school, who would help keep poor Hisao company? Oh! Okay. I can join you for tea again later tonight if you'd like. I may well need it. We agree on that plan, and Lily says her farewells to both of us, taking her cane after Hanako passes it to her. Despite my offer to pay for Lily's share, she insists on giving us her portion of the bill, and gives her regards to Yuko as she takes her leave. And then, we're alone. Maybe all well and good to leave Hanako and me alone to have some time together, but all it typically means is the two of us sitting near each other in silence for a while. I wonder what it must look like to Hanako. I never thought of myself as a scary person, but to have someone my own age acting this way around me makes me intensely self-aware, as if it's my fault that she's troubled. She might get more used to people if she were to stop being so closeted in Numaku. Then again, when people much older than her react so strongly after a single glance at her face, she must well feel the same way I do now. It's a real catch-22. What the heck? Wow! I've heard of that saying. I think that's an idiom as well. If she stays in Numaku, she won't get used to socializing. But if she leaves, any effort she might try would get thrown back at her by the people who can't deal with her scarring.
Wow, that's interesting.
Wow. What?
I typed in joke.com.
Oh, okay, you're not paying attention.
I was multitasking. What does that have to do with a joke?
Joke.com. Yeah, you can go on the internet. No, I wouldn't say that's surprising. You can go on a website.
Well, this phone is... Well, then again, my phone I had from 2005 was able to use the internet. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to order something else to keep us going?
What?
We haven't had much of a dinner after all.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
Hanako brightens and nods vigorously. Glad I brought up that topic for her. I catch Yuko's gaze and she dutifully comes over to take our orders. Would you like something else? I'll just have a sandwich special and a hot chocolate. A bit late for coffee by now. Hanako? I'll have the same. With a nod and bow, Yuko turns the ball of her foot and
Could this be a date?
And returns behind the counter, where she busies herself. It's funny. People like to say this game's a dating sim, like it falls under dating sim. Here's the funny thing. There's really only one moment where you officially go on a date. Like, a date. Like, they actually call it a date. It's in Lily's route.
Oh.
There's one part where Lily and Hisao go to a nice fancy restaurant, and they dress up, and it's an actual date. Because they used to use the word date. The nod and bow, Yuko turns on the ball of her foot and returns behind the counter, where she busies herself fishing out bread and condiments, working on the machine to make our drinks. I just realized he said sandwich, but he never said what kind of sandwich. You know what? I'm going to do that next time I go to a restaurant. I'll have a sandwich! What kind of sandwich? A sandwich! Service! It's terrible service! Customer's always right!
Okay.
Not a word is said between us until Yuko comes back. She smiles and gives us our food and drinks before moving to a customer who's called for her attention. I give up on the prospect of having much of a conversation with my companion and decide to just enjoy the meal, small as it may be.
Ooh, he's a companion.
It tastes nice, as does most of the food here. After having a few mouthfuls, I notice something's missing, namely the sound of Hanako eating. Looking back to her, I see Hanako fidgeting a little behind her untouched sandwich. Not hungry? She shakes her head from side to side. Even as she does, the patch of hair she keeps over the right side of her face still does its job of hiding it almost entirely. It's not that. I was ready to have your share too. You look troubled. Is something wrong? I'm startled by her thinking that I'm the one who looks troubled. But on second thought, she's probably right. My face may have given away my emotions without me noticing. She's hardly a dim person. Quite the opposite. When you tend to be a person who tends to hang to the sidelines, you tend to be a person who can observe a lot and see a lot in people. It's funny. Not socializing lets you observe people better, and thus you can kind of socialize worse. But you can see all the ticks and tocks of people. We're friends, right? Friends. From the tone of her voice and shaking posture, looks as though I've hit yet another landmine. It's another reason why interacting with her is difficult. Self-imposed psychological barrier she puts up between herself and others, including me and most likely even Lily. It's a shame that... I think that we are... I'm a little taken off guard by Hanako's straightforward answer. All the more so since I was about to give up on getting any reply at all. I see. Am I wrong? Sorry, No, it's just hearing confirmation of that from you is reassuring. To pick up on what you said earlier, since coming to Yumaku, I've been a bit uneasy about how I should relate with others. I found myself chuckling a little, surprising how much of a relief that was. I can feel myself smiling as I pick up my cup of hot chocolate and bring it to my lips. It's burning hot. Ow! Ouch! Oh, wow! It actually was. Ouch! That's hot! That's why I haven't eaten yet. I was waiting for my drink to cool down first. I guess I'll wait then. Both of us share a little chuckle. The situation really isn't that funny, but for some reason, it feels like laughing is the most natural thing to do right now. I guess we're both a bit wound up about each other. So I was so busy thinking Hanako was the one with something wrong. It took her to remind me that I was uneasy as well. Be that as it may, it feels a little nice. A little nice to have someone thinking about me like that. Or in her own way. Following a long, quiet trudge up the hill into the school grounds, the two of us find ourselves between the two dormitories. Regular night patrols pass between the male and female dormitory buildings, both for security and to quickly raise the alarm for any medical issues that may arise. The guard currently on duty notices us and gives a quick nod as he continues on his way. A loud yawn escapes from Hanako's mouth before she has a chance to cover it. I have little doubt that she's fairly tired by now. I'd better be off to my room then. See you tomorrow, Hanako. Good night. We separate and begin to walk our separate ways before I stop and look back. Hanako stands there, waving to me as she smiles. I smile and wave back to her, and after a few seconds, she turns to walk up the stairs to her dormitory building, disappearing through the door. These little moments we share between us feel like a little small treasure. One thing is sure. I want to protect that small, delicate smile she so fleetingly wears around few people. I wonder about these feelings I have when Hanako is around, and when I'm able to do things for her. Whether they may be the seed of something beyond that we shared, whether they may be the seed for something beyond that we share now.
He's starting to get the flutters.
He wants to protect that smile. What an interesting choice of words. An interesting choice of words.
Hey, Mettaton, I thought we took out your batteries.
What? What are you talking about?
I thought you were trying
Excuse me! Don't drag me into this!
Wait a minute!
Into your lovey-dovey relationship troubles! I can tell you, darling, you're the last darling I could see with ladies trouncing about.
Put that back in your battery!
But that's only because you're not me, darling!
Oh, sure, because I know you've met a ton of girls.
Oh, you have no idea, darling.
Met a ton?
Oh, it's on now, punk! You really think you have what it takes?
Okay.
Oh, darling, you're...